All right, hey, here we go. Intro to aiming. Hello, beginners. Hello, maybe intermediates. You could probably learn from this too, I would think. Let's go. Let's look at this. What's that white line doing there? Why did I take a piece of old trim from my garage storage area and white pencil and draw this on there? Let's explain it. Why do I have a Mucci here next to my Predator? Well, we'll get to that too. That's a little bit more advanced, but we'll show you some of this stuff. You can quit the video whenever you want, intermediate and beginners. Let's start with beginner, okay? And a little intermediate talk. So this is how I aim, and this is how it works, okay? So we got the cue ball, we got the object ball. We got what we call thickness. My people call it thickness. Other people call it the ghost ball. So if we run this down and we go here, basically when this ball is in the pocketing position for the 14 in the center of this line should split this ball all the way from its origin point. So we're going to run this down this line. This center line is what we use for aiming. And then we feel and are used to the distance between the center line and the side of the ball. And we relate that to the thickness on this ball, okay? So basically, that's how the shot gets made. So if the shot's over here, it's aiming out over here. And if you look, there's far less of the cue ball that's hitting it. And the center line is completely off, right? From where the make line is. This is the make line. Right? So we're left of the make line. And then we end up hitting it with far less of the cue ball, and then the 14 comes down and misses. We actually probably would miss there. But the correction for that is to get this ball correctly oriented towards this center line. So then the proper amount of this cue ball is hitting this 14 ball. And let's look. I'm going to walk around and look. See, I just kind of guessed. So if I look from this angle, it looks pretty much on the center of the cue ball. I look from this angle, it's going right into the left side, the long rail side of the pocket. Could touch the rail going in. So this is a reference line. I didn't spend all day with calipers, and all you engineering, we don't even use calipers. I don't even know. It sounds like something engineering. Sounds like something an engineer would use. But I didn't use a laser. I don't have any of that stuff. This is just a reference line, and I'm trying to show you guys how this relates. So now if we're going to hit it to this side, you're going to see that the actual true make line is here, and we're to the right of the make line, and it's going to be thick, and the ball's going to hit there. So basically, when you're playing pool, you're trying to find out where this ball is, okay, to go into the center of the pocket. You're trying to reference this center of the cue ball line. This is the line based on the center of the cue ball. And then it goes to the center of the cue ball from the origin point. So from right there, it's the center of the cue ball, and it rolls right down. So if it's going to be made, it's going to roll right down this line, splitting this line right down the center. And whoops, and then it's going to come in and hit the ball in the hole, okay? I can even miss with ball in hand, literally ball in hand, womp womp. Okay, so that is how I play pool, and that is how I relate to the cue ball, and how the cue ball relates to thickness. And, you know, I did that. This tip, I got to fix this thing. Every time I look at it, I'm embarrassed. So that's it. So when I'm playing pool, I'm down on the shot. I reference the cue ball. On the ghost ball, I kind of can see this center ball line. And when I'm shooting, I'm just shooting this ball. Gosh, it's sticky Philippines. I'm just shooting this ball down that center line, right? And then I watch where the cue ball goes after. But it's basically, that's the line we're working off of. So that's how we aim, and that's how we execute the shot, right? And yeah. So say we wanted to get out of the scratch, okay? This line, so we were hitting a little thicker. Say we want to hit the 3-ball a little thicker so we could hold it up coming across and not go into the scratch, just with thickness, not with spin. Well, this line going through would be moved over like a whisker, a frog hair. This is the original line. This is the thicker line, right? So I would go down a little bit to my right of that line to thicken it up and push through like that. And I'd thicken it up and see how it kind of stayed up a little bit here and it didn't dive towards the pocket. That's it. Let me show a little bit more of a dramatic example. So when I talk about thickness, I'm talking about this and this line right here, and how the cue ball goes down that line and strikes the object ball. So if I want to hit it thicker, we're going to try to hit it so it hits the side rail going in. So I'm going to thicken it up more. I don't know where I hit it. Like, this is my straight in the center pocket, and if I slide it over a little bit, meaning more of the cue ball. See, as this ball goes over this way, down this line, you can watch the path it's going to hit and bank the cue ball into that side rail straight. So I only need to move it over. This is a nice thing too when you think about it, okay? When you're practicing and you're hitting the ball too thin, too thin, too thin, you don't need to make a dramatic change and just blast it. You need to make, so if I want to hit this ball thinner, if I want to hit this ball thicker, I only need to move it over this line a little bit to make that thickness work. I don't need to move it over here because now I'm going to miss it and bank it out 2 rails. This line right here, this adjustment is very minor. So when you're practicing this shot and you're seeing thick and thin, it's basically, it's in relation to how it's striking the ball, but it's also in relation to this center line. Okay, so if I want to hit it a little thicker, I don't need to go super far to my right of that center line. I just need to go a little bit farther right. And that one I hit a little bit to the right of the center line, and it got a little thicker, but not as thick as I wanted. So if I really want to thicken it up and touch the rail going in, I'm going to have to hit it just a little bit thicker, a little bit more to the right of that center line. Like that. Yep, so that's it. So if I'm making adjustments, essentially one way to think about it is I'm making adjustments of where I'm sending this cue ball down this line. Okay, so I'll give you a quiz. This is good, let's quiz, okay? If splitting this line is, we'll see if you're paying attention. If splitting this line was the center pocket, now if I go over here a little bit, is it going to be thick or thin in the pocket? It's going to be thinner. If I go over here a little bit, it's going to be thicker because more of this ball is going to hit that ball. Less of this ball, imagine this is a laser chopping that ball. Less of this ball is going to hit it. So the way to think about this is where is the center line and how are we in relation to that center line? That's it. And it takes time, right? Why do I play pool? Well, because I understand the center line, and I understand just through practice and repetition and just understanding where these points are in relation to the center and how those relate to that ball, right? That's it. That's what I understand. And that's what all pool players understand in some way or another. And some people have an easier spatial relationship, eye-hand coordination, and can kind of make this stuff work. But sometimes we have to take our time and break it down and figure out what's actually happening and learn that way too. So that's it. So if I want to make this 5, I have this line, I come down, I push the cue ball right down that line, and the 5 goes in. And then you can get kind of into the rabbit hole as you get more advanced to how's your cue tip in relation to this line, right? And things like that. But that's not what we're going to worry about right now. Because honestly, as long as that cue ball goes down that line and splits that line, I'm fine. Meaning, the mechanics of it are, as long as that cue ball goes down that line, it can work, right? As long as I strike, Even if I'm over there, I could still make it. So that's why I'm like, well, the problem is, where we run into problems is that if we move before the strike, right, like a chicken wing or a jump up or something, then it looks more like this, right? We can do that. So basically what we want to do if we're training is, you know, one thing you could do, honestly, in training is you could set this up. Let me grab the pencil. I don't know where it is. Dang it. White pencil. Oh, it's over on the dehumidifier. You can draw this up yourself. You could probably even use your cue, right? So you could do this. Oh, this is interesting. Why didn't I'm literally holding something that I could have used, and I go out and grab some broke piece of wood out of the garage. Oh, it's hard out here. You know the rest. So I would go to the center, and I would draw that line, right? And I would take my pencil and I would draw that line down. One of these pencils, I got this off of Ralph Eckert. He would draw these things on the table, and he was so, oh, Ralph's the best. I'm like a poor man's. I'm like the Bob Ross of Ralph Eckert's or something. But I'm no Ralph Eckert. The guy's I'm no Ralph Eckert because he's awesome. I'm just out here doing my thing. I'm not saying that I played as good as he played, because I didn't, and I'm not saying I'm as good as instructor, because I don't think I am. But who cares? And that's not being negative. I'm trying to prop up Ralph and to say that, hey, Ralph, I'm not that he ever would watch this, but I'm just saying Ralph's the man. He's my favorite. He's the best. That's all there is to it, I think. And not just because of his knowledge, but because of his presentation and his genuineness and his kindness and all those things. So that's it. So anyways, enough about Ralph Eckert, my secret man crush on him. So you can draw this line, you can put that ghost ball there, make this line happen, and then you can go practice at your house. And so this will help your aim, I'm serious, or your pool room. I wouldn't do it at a pool room. They might get a little pissed about this, but you can just go like this and just push it down that line. And even if I'm wobbly, right? I'm a beginner, okay? I just want to push it down that line. Let's go straight with our last one. Okay, that can be my beginner shot. Like you guys have bunny ears. I don't know, maybe some of you do, I don't know. Maybe some of you Canadians play with bunny ear bridges. Why am I love Canada. I'm just kidding. Okay, so that's it. That's it. So I think like that's enough for now. I was gonna do a little something with deflection and stuff, but we'll save that for later. I changed my mind. This is Miuchis have a lot of deflection. It's a wet noodle, old technology, and I have carbon. Maybe I'll do a video on the difference between wood and carbon, because I do think it matters a big amount. So, okay, that's it. And of course, none of this changes if I hit it low. So if I want to hit that 11 ball and I hit it low, I still push it down the same line. And I hit the 11 like a boss. Okay, that's a little more intermediate. Okay, I love you guys. I hope this was useful. And yeah, I think this is cool. Let me know what you think in the comments and if it was helpful. All right, see you guys. Bye.